Hurricanes are like people. They come in all sizes, shapes, and personalities. One can go easy on you, then the next one's brutal. And there's one city in particular that learned this lesson the hard way: Fort Myers Beach, Florida.
Back in 2004, Category 4 Hurricane Charley made landfall 22 miles north-northwest of Fort Myers Beach. The town got off easy. 18 years later, Hurricane Ian made landfall in the same place at the same intensity as Charley. But this time around, things were very different for Fort Myers Beach.
It was incredible. I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, words can't explain it. It was insane. It was like a class 5 rapid flowing down her road, and there were homes, cars, you name it. And we thought her house was going to float away as well. And my dad's house was across the street, and his house actually floated off the stilts and into the canal behind it. You know, yeah, and he had to swim for it in the middle of the storm. I know, with his dog.
The main difference between Charley and Ian, not the intensity, both had winds of 150 miles an hour, but the size. Ian was much bigger, and bigger hurricanes pushed more water at the coast.
The result was a huge, destructive storm surge that extended far from the hurricane center, devastating Fort Myers Beach and other towns far away from the landfall point. The impact was extreme. Homes swept away, businesses bulldozed, boats driven inland, beaches scoured away, and even greater tragedy.
You know, we lost 16 lives that day, and some of them were our friends.
So what happened? Mayor Dan Allers chalks it up to a false sense of security from years of close calls.
I think people got very complacent, myself included, that, you know, we've heard this story before, it's not going to happen to us, and obviously, as you can see, it did.
And it wasn't just the mayor. Lifelong resident Sean Wilcox had the same skepticism.
I've been through so many hurricanes down here that, you know, I just didn't think it was possible for the whole island to go completely under like that, or a storm surge to go 5 miles inland. And I never thought it was going to happen like that. I had some friends stop over just before I left, and they were telling me, "Oh my God, we just saw the news. It's going to be horrible. You need to get your stuff and get it." And I literally told them, you know, don't try and scare me, all right? I've been through this before. I don't want to hear this. You know, I've done this before. It's not going to be that bad. Just get out of my house and quit trying to scare me with this crap. It was stupid that I didn't, you know, take a little more, you know, heed to it. You know, it was bad. It was bad.
Fact is, the destructive impact of a large, intense hurricane is incredible, and it's very hard to picture in your mind's eye until it happens.
But it did happen. And now there's no way to go but up. And just 8 months after the tragedy, Fort Myers Beach is bouncing back with energy and passion.
Right after the storm, if you had asked me would we be where we're at today, almost 8 months later, I'd have told you no way. I'd have told you you're crazy. To see, as you see, as the cars are going by and the trucks are going by, it shows you that people want to be back here. People that were here before, sure, we are going to lose a couple, but we're going to gain some new ones. And we're going to gain new buildings. They may, again, look a little different on the outside, but it's what's inside. It's the people that work there. It's the people that own that place. As you see all around Times Square and all these other trailers, people are doing what they have to do to survive, to be part of this community. So that's hope. There's a lot of hope.
And I see what the mayor's talking about. Walking around this devastated community, the mood is surprisingly upbeat. Folks are hanging on the beach, restaurants are resurrecting, and Times Square is a beehive of activity.
I think a lot of people are excited now to see, you know, what the future is going to be. What is this going to be now? How are we going to preserve what we have but make it future-proof?
Despite the optimism, Hurricane Ian has given lifelong residents of Fort Myers Beach a new understanding of how vulnerable their town is.
It's not really an island, it's a sandbar. I've come to realize that now. This is a sandbar that we're all living on, and that's the way it is.
And there's only one answer to that: stronger codes.
Any new construction that's going to be done is definitely going to have to be higher and be more resilient. Because like you can see behind me, that building is built to the new codes and it survived, and now that's still moving forwards. The only way you can learn sometimes is to have to learn the hard way, and we certainly are learning some lessons the hard way.
And now Mayor Allers wants to pass on the knowledge to other communities.
My hope and my goal is that I can try as hard as I can to communicate before another storm hits to some of these coastal communities about this is what we're learning in real time so that you can be prepared more before the storm hits than reactive. You know, try to be as proactive as you can, and that's my goal, is to try to help as many people that are willing to listen to me talk.
Lesson learned, never get complacent with hurricanes. Each one is a unique character with its own unique destructive arsenal. Never assume that the next one is going to be a replay of the last one. This is Josh Morgerman with WeatherNation TV in Fort Myers Beach, Florida.